make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime. He ready.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat you with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Shakur Stevenson is reportedly set to face Devin Haney at 140 pounds. He accepts the strict rehydration conditions and remains completely confident that his superior skills surpass every other potential challenger in the division.
These guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that.
Yeah.
But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going?
Devin Haney insists the planned fight with Shakur Stevenson will definitely happen soon, showing his full determination and total commitment, which makes it completely clear he truly wants this bout above all others.
Still at 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think it,
you think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, we're all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said, it's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights. Which even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible.
Shakur Stevenson says he is not afraid of facing Devin Haney, but worries Devin's team might falsely claim Shakur is intentionally avoiding their proposed fight to protect his own reputation.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand, you know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault, because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me?
Shakur Stevenson believes he is on a different level entirely, with no fighter truly capable of defeating him, while insisting Devin Haney cannot possibly knock him out in a fight.
He's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself. And,
for sure.
But for me, I'm willing
to
make the fight.
But do you see it as it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot is like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Devin Haney is determined to finally prove himself by seeking the toughest fights against top opponents like Shakur Stevenson to firmly establish his own true legacy and greatness.
Not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to to be next. I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight at 140, and then when the time is right, then I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really.
Bill Haney says his team will not come down and wait around for anyone, so any opponent wanting a real fight must move up to the 140-pound division to face them.
And become undisputed, yet they didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? As far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed, so they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in the way that they've.
He adds that this significant bout can absolutely happen anytime the serious challenger is finally fully ready and willing to proceed for a fight.
We must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process. When you're that good, you know what I mean? We can't say it any other way, They're running out of narratives, you know what I'm saying? And, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, well, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business, so, we'll never do it. Obviously, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's going to go.
Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson has the potential to surpass even Terence Crawford in boxing history. Crawford is undoubtedly on the sport's Mount Rushmore, a 5-weight division champion with remarkable achievements. However, Bradley feels Shakur possesses similar talent and skill to rise even higher. He clarifies this is not about matching Crawford's undisputed titles or moving through numerous weight classes, but about the bigger opportunities unavailable to Crawford due to past boxing politics. Bradley notes that if figures like Turki Alalshik had been present during Crawford's rise, bridging gaps between promoters' major fights against foes like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Eudenis Ugas could have happened much earlier, boosting Crawford's legacy even further.
Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the stance of becoming 3-time undisputed and, going up to, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. He already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in a sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you have guys like Turki Alalshik that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, make these.
With that in mind, Shakur is entering an era where talented fighters from 130 to 135 pounds are more accessible, giving him the chance to face top opponents consistently. Names like Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Ashaquith Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Brian Garcia, and others are realistic potential matchups. Bradley emphasizes Shakur has the skills to compete with these fighters and the opportunity to defeat them all, solidifying his legacy and potentially making him even greater than Crawford in overall influence and achievements.
Was on his climb. When Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas and, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run and, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters, hovering around 135, 130, guys like, O'Shaquie Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go to
There is a major promotional obstacle currently in the way, but as you watch these two elite fighters compete, it is clear that outside of cheating, they are highly unlikely to lose. With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur, and Shakur responds right back to Devin. This constant back and forth perfectly highlights the dynamic between top-level fighters. Initially, there was talk of the Four Kings version 2.0 featuring Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, drawing direct parallels to the legendary era of Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran.
I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose, right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial Four Kings. It was Devin, Ryan, T.O., and Tank Davis, right? It was supposed to be the Four Kings 2.0. From the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray.
Interestingly, Wilfred Benitez, often overlooked in discussions of that era, defeated Roberto Duran, who struggled against several of the original Four Kings. Duran beat Sugar Ray Leonard only once, was brutally knocked out by Hearns, outclassed by Hagler, and bested by Benitez. Despite these accomplishments, Benitez remains overshadowed. Similarly, fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez have often overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. However, Stevenson has begun to shine through, particularly after dominating Teofimo Lopez. At the same time, Tank Davis's legal issues and fight reluctance further highlight the challenges and opportunities that are reshaping the modern boxing landscape.
He mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost to he quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and T.O., overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined the light by dominating Teofimo.
Bernie Thawboxer reacts to the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight by highlighting the legacies and accomplishments of both fighters. Shakur is now a 4-weight world champion, a 2-time lineal champion, and a 2-time Ring Magazine title holder. He also became a 2-time unified champion at 130 pounds, having beaten high-level opponents like Teofimo Lopez, and always rises to the occasion.
The ring, they talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about kind of being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that, and now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money for.
Devin Haney, meanwhile, is a 3-weight world champion and was undisputed at one point. Bernie emphasizes that if Shakur wants to face Devin directly, he should do so without hesitation. Fighting Devin at his absolute prime would leave no room for excuses and would ensure Shakur receives full credit for a monumental achievement. According to Bernie, both fighters are elite, but defeating Devin in his prime would further cement Shakur Stevenson's legacy as one of the best fighters of his generation, proving his supreme skill, determination, and championship caliber ability.
Accomplishments, because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion, so he's a 2-time Ring magazine winner, 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130, so he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion, beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion, had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion, and that was it. He was in his prime too, Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140, not taking away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older.
Shakur Stevenson recently delivered a dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez, and Busiai Ennis highlights how remarkable it was, especially as Shakur fought practically with one hand. His jab, the most important punch in boxing, was sharp and precise, controlling distance flawlessly. Every move was calculated and effective, demonstrating technical mastery that left Lopez looking amateurish despite his experience and athleticism. Many critics had questioned Shakur's resume, claiming he lacked top competition, but against Lopez he proved all doubters wrong. Technically, Shakur executed perfectly. Lopez struggled simply because he was facing Shakur Stevenson.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man. He did everything right, man.
A lot of people thought it would be a tough fight because Teo's athletic, Teo's experienced, he's fought on a high level. Mm-hmm. And, they were critical of Shakur. He ain't fought nobody and this and that.
Yeah.
He made Teo look like everybody else.
Made him look like an amateur. Made him look like an amateur. Yes.
Now, technically, what did you see? Right? Where did Teo go wrong in that fight?
Where he went wrong?
Yeah.
Fighting Shakur. That's where he went wrong. Fighting Shakur. I knew he just running his mouth. He just was talking, man. I knew that from the beginning.
Even with his left hand slightly injured, Shakur maintained dominance throughout the fight, throwing the jab relentlessly and only occasionally using his left hand due to the injury. Busiai emphasizes that Shakur could have achieved a stoppage if necessary. Yet he managed the bout smartly despite the discomfort. The performance not only showcased his skill but also his intelligence and composure in the ring. Fans in Philly and beyond witnessed a masterclass with Shakur asserting himself as one of boxing's top talents. Even while hurt, he controlled the fight, proving that greatness does not rely on perfect conditions. It relies on skill, heart, and unwavering focus.
Shakur hurt his left hand. His left hand was hurt. If you notice, he was using that jab a lot.
Yeah, jab and then the hook.
And he threw the left hand every now and then. Because I was screaming out. Everybody said they heard me in Philly.
Yo, we can hear you on the TV.
Yeah, that's my young buck. You know what I mean? And I was telling him, throw that straight left hand. Then I noticed when he did throw it, he wasn't throwing it real hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he looked spectacular, man. You know what I mean? He can't ask for nothing more, man. And with me, I don't care about what people say, man. They always want to talk about you and say, oh, he should have did this, should have did that. He did everything that he was supposed to.
The fight between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney is one everyone is eager to watch. Both fighters bring exceptional skill, speed, and determination, making every moment in the ring unpredictable and intense. Fans are analyzing their styles and past performances, debating who will come out on top. Every punch, every movement counts, and the stakes could not be higher. Shakur's technical mastery meets Devin's agility and power, creating a clash that promises fireworks. The energy surrounding this fight is electric, and it has the potential to define both fighters' careers, delivering one of the most memorable bouts in recent boxing history.
That even remotely sparks my interest for Shakur Stevenson is this guy right here, Devin Haney. Look at them, they're the same size. Obviously, Devin's moved up to 147. Shakur demands a catch weight. We'll see if Devin goes for the bait, because I think Shakur Stevenson, there's no doubt about it, he has the skills to compete at 147 to be 5 weight division champion.
All right, everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Ring Headquaterzz and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.